It's not a dead heat. It's not a mismatch between the popular and the electoral vote. It's a real victory. And in the Senate, it's just astounding. Republicans lost 3 of their 10 seats. And thus far, Democrats have really only lost 1, Nebraska, with the 2 others uncalled, still at risk, but with the Democratic candidates, Tester and Heitkamp, leading in both. So you could end up with a pickup of 255 Democrats in the Senate. That's really quite an extraordinary outcome. As Ben suggests, many individual idiosyncratic factors went into it, but it also tells you something about the nature of the Senate and Senate races versus House races, where in the House, we don't know what the total vote is, but I have a feeling it could end up being a Democratic majority in the total vote. But the total vote means nothing in the House. Republicans have a natural advantage in the distribution of their voters over districts. They have fewer overwhelmingly safe seats because of the geographical cluster of loyal Democratic voters in urban areas that waste a lot of votes. And as a consequence, even without any kind of gerrymandering, they would have an advantage. In this case, their control over redistricting probably put them in a position to net out an additional 12 to 15 seats. And right now it looks as if any pickup by the Democrats will be in the low single digits if they do as well as that. Okay, why do I say it's both a status quo election and a potential changer? A status quo because we ended where we began in the 112th Congress, which has been the least constructive and most destructive Congress in memory. We have a Democratic president with a Democratic majority in the Senate, short of cloture, and we have a Republican House. Many analysts are saying, well, it's the old gridlock back. Let me say another element behind the status quo is if anything, there's been a further exacerbation of partisan polarization, both looking at the individual members of the respective coalitions of the parties and the intensity of the level of partisan voting. So we see no new coalitions emerging, no glimpse of anything on which you would try to build a consensus in Washington based on the behavior of the electorate.